I just love telling you folks my business, huh? Here's another story, as I have so many to tell, and with that being said, here we go. So I met this cute, thick Asian chick on Yahoo Messenger in a chat room while I was on break at work. Needless to say, I extended that break a little longer than I was supposed to as I was really trying to get to know her. As I said, she was thick in the hips just right with a body that you don't normally associate with an Asian chick at all, and she wasn't fat or overweight in any way. She was just thick like it's supposed to be. We used to catch each other in a certain chat room that we both frequented, as you were able to bounce around to so many chat rooms and even be in several chats at one time. I think we used to call them rooms or something like that.
You don't say.
Picture this light brown skinned chick with some terrible, just terrible thighs and a big booty that you just can't take your eyes off of no matter how hard you tried, and then she was also cute in the face. Not just the waist. She had medium length, dark black hair, and she had a mean look on her face like she was serious, but she wasn't mean at all. That's just how she looked. Later I found out that she loved to play pool and she was a part of a team and everything. On the chat, I got her to agree to meet up with her sister being their security in case I was a crazy mofo or something. I wasn't going to let her know that. Just kidding. We met up at a huge park and they all were on the swings because her nephew showed up also. She looked cute in her pics, but way better in person, and I say this because I've met lots and lots of women offline, and usually it's a bit disappointing when they show up looking either just way different from their pictures online or their body is just not what they told me it was. Well, you get the point. Women be lying, bruh. Anyway, she was good to go. We talked and she gave me a hug and said she'd like to do something, so I suggested that we meet up tomorrow night to go dancing and get some drinks, so we did that and met at this bar that's now gone and has been replaced by a Wawa. I was a good dancer and this I guess turned her on, coupled with the fact that she apparently can't handle her liquor or the stuff goes straight to her vagina and makes her super duper horny, because shortly after having her favorite apple martinis that she always got, and it was always just 2 of them, she was red hot in the panties and was all over me. This is the same chick that just gave me a hug at the park earlier and was super low key, almost bland as F. Anyway, we danced a little bit and I was groping her on the dance floor a little bit in front of all these people that were also dancing, yeah sure, but not like we were. This ended up moving to the back seat of my expedition, but there was one problem that came up while we were having raw sex. We both had to pee like a mother effer, and I mean like the term we used to use, we had to pee like a racehorse. I don't know who came up with that saying, but because of it, to this day, I don't want any daughters, because I don't want to raise whores. LOL. We both exited the vehicle with reckless abandon. She stooped over the gravel that I was parked on and let out this huge, powerful flow of urine, and I stood tall and let the levees break, if you know what I mean. We were both so relieved, and now, she no longer wanted to continue having sex, and oddly enough, I was fine with that. We kept meeting up, but always at her place. She lived with her mother, sister and her son and nephew. I used to come over and we'd get on chat rooms and guys would be flirting with her and pulling out their meat and showing her or whatever, and she'd be sitting on my lap and then she'd move her head and all the guy would see is my ugly mug looking at him, and he'd turn off the camera and we got a good laugh out of doing stupid shit like that on there. Man, I remember one time she was wearing these shorts and they weren't even the tightest shorts, and that's what doesn't make any sense, but she got up off my lap and walked away and her booty cheeks clapped together and I was just in awe. Now mind you, we've already been sleeping together and all that, and I'm still looking at her like it's the first time I seen some booty like that, but it was something to behold and I still get flashbacks to this day. She introduced me to her friends and one of them kissed me in the mouth right in front of her. I thought that was weird, but the other one was really mean to me, and I never could figure out if it was because she really liked me, but at this point I'm dating her friend as we kind of made it official, so what the hell do you care that I have my fingers up her hoo-hoo while we're at the club? She liked it, and that's my girl. Go find yourself a dude that likes to finger you and leave me alone. She actually cussed me out because I was digitally manipulating my girlfriend's G-spot. Leave us alone. He. I play too much. I mean, never mind the fact that we're in a packed club with people taking notice and pointing at us.
Look, he's fingering her.
But the girl seemed to be offended, and my girl wasn't chirping. She was just trying not to show that it felt good in front of her friends, but anyway, I was a wild dude like that. I remember one time I met this lady at a really kind of bougie club, and I had also talked to this woman online as well on Black Planet though, and I recognized her and walked right up to her while this cute, honey-skinned colored bartender was watching with her mouth dropped to the floor as I placed my hand down this lady's panties and started giving her the finger, and she just stood there and let me do it. Some guy walked up and whisked her away as I started looking at the bartender and smiled. She never looked at me the same again. But anyway, back to this girl. We didn't last, but we had some fun times. She used to clean my toes and pick my toenails. I remember one time we both had a few drinks and went to bed and started doing it again, but this time was different. She slipped up and told me that she loved me, and I paused and said that I loved her too. I usually never did that, but I believe we both said it because we were caught up in the sex and how it made us feel, and that was it, because we never talked about it again. I didn't bring it up, and the same for her. We acted like we never told each other that we loved each other, lol. I remember one time we thought that her son was sleeping still, so she and I decided to do it on the floor, and in comes little man, and he was just staring at us, and mind you, we're naked, but luckily I quickly grabbed some cover and she and I started laughing and pretended to be wrestling, and his little dumb ass fell for it.
Okay, mommy?
Cute little fella. Didn't mean to traumatize you if you were just acting like you fell for it, but you walked out of there like you were satisfied that she and I were just wrestling. Plus, what do you remember anyway? I mean, you were just like, what, 4 or 5 years old at the time, so you probably don't remember jack shit.